Hey, what's up, gamers? It's Skelemystyk. Welcome back to another edition of Through the Grapevine, where we talk about news, tips, tricks, rumors, and everything that could possibly be Wizard. I have a great amount of material to cover in this video, so it might be just a little bit longer than usual. I'm sure that some of you won't complain. I think actually that a lot of you won't complain. I've had calls to have longer videos before now, and well, sometimes the video lends itself to being longer, and sometimes it really doesn't. It's just what material there is available to talk about that day. Anyway, let's go ahead and start with some game ideas that I would like to see in the spiral. First of all, I would like to see some new gardening plants. We've had pretty much the same gardening plants forever now. How about, let's say, okay, how about a new set of gardening plants for the pet metals. You know, the metals we use to craft pet gems with? How about that? A new set of plants for pet metals. We could name them things like, let me see. Okay, how? Steel magnolias. We could have steel magnolias for the steel. I mean, that would be a great big tree with great big pretty flowers that you harvest. I think that would be really cool. We could have the brass bulls bush. Yes, I said bowls. Bowls, yeah. I said bowls, like in holding your soup. It could be a bush that has a great big bunch of brass on it. You could, like, pull it off and use it to craft your pet gems with. Yeah, I know I'm getting kind of deep with these puns here, aren't I? Sorry. You didn't hear me say those past puns. You really did. I would never do a thing like that at all. The brass bowls bush. And okay, I'm losing it. This is, yeah, I'm getting mental pictures and it's just too funny for me. Okay, how about the silver lining cloud? You could have a bush, like a cotton bush, that has, like, but it looks kind of cloudy, and you could get silver from it. I think that's a really cool one. Anyhow, just some new plants that drop metals for us. And not like one metal per year either, guys. How about, being as it takes like several metals to make a gem, how about like it drops several metals? It drops them as an uncommon instead of an epic. That would be pretty, yeah, there we go. So, some new plants. That's my first idea of this grapevine. How about also, in this grapevine, we have some new crown shop items in the form of potions. There's a lot of other things that we could do so far as speed and hatching and gardening and all kinds of things. You know, a potion, maybe in the crown shop or as a drop that, for instance, allowed you to speed up your hatching timer. I mean, I know that we have the Perot's potion that like resets your hatching timer for 400. I know that. But I would like to see something maybe a little bit less because, and what brings us to mind is I recently hatched a pet for a boss solo, and boys did I burn up the crowns on the Perot's pet potions. How about something just like makes the hatching a little bit faster? We got these 24-hour pets that, you know, there's certain pets that take 24 hours to hatch, and we have the low-cost potion, hatching potion for that. But I'm talking about ones that will reset your hatching timer just a little bit faster, just for a little bit less crowns. That kind of thing. Or perhaps, you know, an item that will give you a little bit more running speed. Or so, just things like that. Let me think here. Oh, boy, boy. Mount races. We have pet races. And they really develop that pretty well. And it's pretty cool to play it sometimes, especially whenever you actually find people to play. But how about mount races? I would like to see people, and not even on a closed course, I would like to see people racing their pets, say through Wizard City, say through the Old Town, say through Triton Avenue, just through different courses where people are already playing. People are racing their pets through those open land courses. I don't want to see a closed course thing, you know, that's controlled and all that. I want to see people racing out in the world, doing things like people do. You know, doing things like players would do. I mean, this is a magical world and anything is possible. Let's have mount races out in the world, and prizes for those mount races that aren't just tickets, but let's say that every once in a while you were to get a stat boost. You know, something that permanently boosts speed on your pet. They have the bikes now that have increased speed. How about if you can increase the speed on your pets? I mean, even if it's 5% of the time for this boost, say you could eventually increase the speed of your pets by 100%. I would love to have a fast pet like that, and that would make mount racing a heck of a lot of fun if you could increase speed or strength or stamina or things like that on your mount and make a racer out of it. I think that would be awesome if we could do that. Let me see what is next on my thoughts, and I have some not quite so happy things to talk about in a little while, so I want to do all the happy stuff first. Let me see. How about gardening? In the interest of gardening, how about gardening plants that drop gear or potions or things like that, which will make our game a little bit better or a little more fun? Something like that. For instance, I would like to see a plant that drops an item that will give you an extra teleport marker. You know, you can mark where you were at and then go back to the bazaar and port back to that marker. But there's a lot of times I've had occasions to where I needed to port to 2 different places at once, and you can only mark one. How about a plant drop that gives you a teleport item, something like that? Oh, I can't even think of the name of a plant right now. So by all means, viewer feedback, give me some cool names for some new gardening plants, and maybe we can push this through. And you know, they might say, hey, this is a great idea, let's do this. Give me some names for some gardening plants. I'd like to see, and what they would do if you had it. You know, come up with your own ideas, and if it's a great plant, you know, that gives me an idea. I think I'll make a video about new gardening plants that we could have based on what the viewer suggestions are. If we get some really cool plants and some really cool ideas that go with them, you know, give me a cool name for a plant, what it would look like, and what it would drop and do, and I think I'll make a little video out of that. I think I will. So there we go. Let me see. Here's a good one I would like to see. How about in the crown shop we could have a name change potion? Now, I'm used to Gallon Firethorn. I've done it for a long time. A long time now. But I know there have been times in the past where I wanted to change the name on another character or on a different character. And you can't do it. Once this character is made and named, it's set in stone forever. You cannot ever change it. I would like to see a potion or a crown shop item or some kind of thing that does it. Allows you to change your character's name. I know a lot of you probably like to change your character's name at one time or another. A lot of you probably would. Alright, let me think here. One more in the game ideas thing, and then I'll talk about some other things. I would like to see in the game, either as a drop, as a plant item, or maybe even a crown shop item if you had to have it, a mobile bank. Something you could carry on you while you're adventuring. You could drop your bank right there. I mean, you know, maybe it's limited to 1 time per hour, 1 time per day, or what have you. But a mobile bank that you could carry on you, you could drop where you're at adventuring. You don't have to stop and teleport back to your house and do all that bit. But you could pull it right out of your pocket right there, drop it on the ground, bam, you could get into your bank, and, you know, maybe you want to pick up some gear, or maybe you got too much stuff and you want to save some. Something like that. I would like to see a mobile bank in the game. I think that's really good, and that's going to cover it for ideas, but I haven't given you all a tip in a while, and I feel I owe you a tip. So, let me think. A tip for you guys to use in the game. How about... Okay, how about a fishing tip? Here's one for you if you're a little bit higher in fishing that you may not know. If you use a higher level lure than the fish that you're trying to catch, it will add some fishing luck to your catching it. Say, for instance, you have a level 1 fish you want to catch, and you have a level 1 ice fish you want to catch, and you use a level 3 ice lure on it. Now, it's still the same school, which means the fish is, you know, apt to go for it and all that. But you'll also have plus 5% fishing luck per extra level of the lure above the fish to use. So if you are trying to catch a level 1 fish and you use a level 3 lure, you'll automatically have plus 10% fishing luck on that catch. Some of you may know this and some of you may not. And I think that's a good little tip to put in this through the grapevine. Now, on to some news. I have some personal news and some other news that some of you have heard, some of you are thinking about, and some of you don't understand what's going on, and that bit. First of all, I'm going to do the personal news. I have been making videos. In the beginning, I made a new video every single day. And I have noticed that a lot of times my fans, you know, maybe they're away for a couple of days, or, you know, maybe they don't check into YouTube every day. Maybe they don't check into Facebook or any of those things every day. And by the time they got onto my channel to see a video, it had already been gone off my upload queue because, you know, well, I make videos so fast that, you know, not everybody got a chance to see it. So what I've been taking to doing this past couple of weeks is uploading one video every 2 days or maybe even every 3 days. It does not mean, mind you, it does not mean that I'm leaving you guys or that I'm getting bored with making videos or that I'm tired of the game or that I'm tired of YouTube or any of that whatsoever. It does not mean any of that. It just means that I'm experimenting with something new. It's helping me out to get more views, and it's giving more people a chance to see what it is I've made for a video at the time. And I really feel it's actually working out well. I don't know why I didn't do it earlier. On to the Wizard101 news. As a lot of you know, a couple of days ago, they had a very, very large layoff. And some of you have been worried about that. As far as the game, as far as maybe the end of the game, as far as the futures of some of those people who got laid off. I do believe that Leela was one of them. And I'm here to tell you that I don't really think that Wizard's going to end like just right away or anytime soon. I do believe that they've had some issues in the past, and maybe they don't have the traffic that they did before. But I don't think this layoff means an end to the game or anything like really, really bad or drastic. Just like they said, I think that they really, to get down to it, I think that they really tried to expand too fast on the mobile games thing, and they found out that it wasn't going to be as popular as they believed it was going to be. I mean, my thoughts on this are just conjecture, just like everybody else's. But companies lay off people all the time. It doesn't mean that you know, their products are going to quit being sold, or that, in this case, the game is going to end right away, or any of that bit. I think that they still do fine on this game as far as making a decent living or a decent profit for themselves. And as long as they're making a profit, they're not going to quit. So don't worry about the game aspect itself. And I also feel that, well, I don't think you have to worry too much about those people that got laid off. They are really talented people. Otherwise, King's Isle wouldn't have hired them in the first place. And as far as the games market goes, Wizard101 itself may be running a little slow, you know, with the updates and the content, whatnot like that. But the game market as a whole is booming. I mean, whenever Wizard101 started, there was a lot less MMOs than there is now. And I think that's part of the reason that Wizard is having a little bit of a slowdown or whatnot like that anyway, because there's a lot more choices now than there used to be in the MMO game market. Anyhow, the point of this whole thing being, companies have layoffs all the time. I don't think that it's going to be the end of the world. Well, at least not yet. At least not yet. If they have a couple more years with content like they've got and customer service like they've got, then it might be. But for now, I don't think that, other than, well, the immediate future of those game developers or those employees, I don't think there's going to be too much of a shift or a change in what we know, or what we know on our end of it. Those people are, of course, going to need to find new employment, what have you, like that. And that's definitely going to affect them. And guys, sorry if you're listening to this video, it's in my nature to try to help people, and I wish I could help all of you out who got laid off on this job thing, but that's really not in my power to do. I do think that as well, King's Isle maybe has seen the light about the slowdown, and they might try to, pick up their game. Sorry for the pun. They might try to pick up their game on this. And I look forward to what the new updates are going to be for the summer and for the fall. At least some of that's going to be a new world, guys. We know that. At least some of it is. All right, that's going to be my thoughts on this Grapevine. And I hope you guys liked the tip and definitely the game ideas. So if you did, please give the like button a good hard smash because it's going to help me out. And as well, share this video because that's going to help other people out. Until next time, this is Skelemystyk reminding you that whatever else you do, always love the game. Peace! Hey, what's up gamers, it's Skelemystyk. Welcome back to Pet Training Baby Omega. This time, I'm going to be training this lovely little pet here, the Starburst Spider. This is one of the new pets from the last update. Not a hybrid, it's a drop pet. And I'm going to be doing a quick showcase of all